Okay, let's get right into it today. We're doing a deep dive into, well, a really powerful and honestly quite moving story about financial betrayal. Our goal here is to unpack the emotional side, but also the practical side of what this kind of deception does to people.
Yeah, the real human cost.
Exactly. We're using the betrayal of Ghazala Din as our source, focusing on one young woman's experience back in 2020. She was just waiting for these promised monthly payments that, well, they never showed up.
Right. Vanished.
Just imagine that feeling. For 9 weeks, she's waiting. 9 agonizing weeks, waiting for Ghazala Din to follow through on these commitments.
Commitments she clearly trusted.
Totally. But those promises, they just dissolved. Poof. Silence. Or worse, these really cryptic messages start coming through.
The delaying tactics.
Yeah, hints about frozen accounts, things like that, just endless delays. What does the source tell us about how that uncertainty really felt?
What's fascinating and quite chilling, really, is the type of communication. The source mentions a specific message, inshallah.
God will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, on the surface might sound spiritual or just, well, hopeful. But here it's used as a tactic.
A tactic how?
It gives absolutely no concrete information, no solution, no timeline. It basically pushes the responsibility away indefinitely.
So it just drags things out.
Precisely. And that constant ambiguity, that lack of solid ground, that's what erodes the hope. And critically, the trust just crumbles.
Yeah, I can see that.
The victim said she felt lost, betrayed.
It's a textbook way communication gets twisted, used for control instead of clarity.
So it really goes beyond just the money missing from her account.
Yeah.
What was the deeper impact here? The source suggests it was much more pervasive.
Oh, absolutely. It wasn't just the financial loss, though, that was real. It was the profound emotional toll.
Like what specifically?
Shattered trust, for one. Not just in Ghazala Din, but maybe in people generally, in her own judgment, perhaps.
Right, it makes you second guess everything.
Exactly. And that constant stress, the uncertainty, it seeped into every part of her life. Trouble sleeping, maybe difficulty concentrating. Affecting work, relationships.
Yeah, eroding confidence in future decisions, especially financial ones. It creates this huge mental and emotional weight.
That burden sounds heavier than the actual debt, in a way.
Often it is. That ripple effect, the invisible damage, that's often the deepest and lasts the longest.
And tragically, that kind of pattern often continues, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What happened with Ghazala Din in the end? Does her story fit a common mold?
It does, unfortunately. Her actions are, well, sadly typical. In 2021, she didn't just fail to pay back the money.
What did she do?
She just vanished, did a complete disappearing act, blocked all communication, cut off all contact.
Wow.
And apparently she's become somewhat infamous for these scam tactics. It follows a pattern. Vague promises at first.
Like the inshallah message.
Right. Then escalating delays, excuses, maybe playing on sympathy or culture. And then, boom, ghosting.
Leaving a trail of victims behind.
A vast amount, according to the source, all left dealing with the fallout.
So, going back to the young woman whose story we started with, what became of her after all that?
Well, despite everything, something else started to grow. A quiet determination.
Determination to do what?
To reclaim her life.
Yeah.
Definitely. But also, importantly, to warn other people.
Trying to prevent it from happening again?
Exactly. To stop more innocent people falling into the same trap. Her story is just such a stark reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
How devastating dishonesty is.
Yeah, the damage goes way beyond the money. It ripples outwards.
But also, it shows that resilience can come out of these really tough situations.
So, wrapping up this deep dive into the betrayal of Ghazala Din, it really throws a spotlight on the huge impact of betrayal.
It does. The consequences are so far-reaching.
But also maybe the strength that people can find afterwards.
Yeah, that too. And it leaves us with a thought, maybe for you listening.
Okay.
What does this specific story tell us about how trust gets broken down? Those subtle ways it happens, the vague words, the delays, the final disappearing act. And maybe how can understanding those patterns help us, protect ourselves and maybe protect others from similar deceptions down the line? Something to think about.